there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So this is kind of a fun story here. So it looks like Josh Brolin, Thanos himself, has shared a piece of artwork by Boss Logic, the famous kind of social media artist who puts up like really great pieces of artwork. Josh Brolin has shared an image of himself being depicted as Darkseid in the DCU. So, I mean, this is pretty cool stuff. I mean, there could be nothing here at all. This could be a non-story. But at the same time, if this is hinting towards Josh Brolin coming into the DCU and potentially being cast as Darkseid, that would be just insane and crazy. In recent years, we've had all kinds of crazy stuff happening with comic book movies. We've had, you know, like, for instance, we had Jamie Foxx coming back as Electro in Spider-Man No Way Home. We've had Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Doctor Doom. We've had a brand new DC Cinematic Universe start with all of these crazy castings, and I guess nothing is off the table when it comes to comic book movies these days. I know one's Marvel and one's DC, but I'm talking about the overall general picture of when it comes to our comic book properties. There's just crazy castings going on left, right, and center, and I guess this isn't out of the realm of possibility. I mean, Josh Brolin, fantastic actor, great voice, did a great job as Thanos, coming across to be Darkseid. It could be a genius piece of casting. But anyway, let's get into this news, let's break it down, and let's see what we can learn about what's going on with this story here. So, this comes to us from Comic Book Movie. Josh Brolin prompts speculation by sharing fan art depicting him as the DC supervillain Darkseid. I guess also, one of the major things about fans as well, they want Darkseid to be built up to kind of like Thanos was, like multiple films kind of hint at his presence throughout the movie and then kind of reveal him and then ultimately have him as a big bad. I mean, having him revealed too soon could be, you know, sort of, what's the word that I'm looking for? Kind of lackluster, kind of anticlimactic. So if they're going to do a Darkseid in the DCU at some point, they really have to nail what they're doing with him and make sure they respect the character and not, you know, blow their load too soon with him and kind of ruin the imposing kind of figure that Darkseid actually is. But anyway, so this news here. So Josh Brolin declined an offer to play Hal Jordan in the upcoming Lantern series, with the part ultimately going to Kyle Chandler. I love Kyle Chandler, I think he's a great actor. However, rumor has it that the highly in demand Deadpool 2 actor is still on DC Studios' radar for a different DCU role. We have no idea which character, if any, the Doom Part 2 star might be interested in playing, but Boss Logic has now shared some fan art depicting the actor as DC Comics' supervillain Darkseid. We'll have a look at that piece of artwork in just a sec. We're not sure how popular a choice this would be after Brolin already played Thanos in the MCU. Both characters are generally viewed as being Marvel and DC counterparts, but it seems Brolin himself might just be on board with the idea. After Boss Logic posted his art to X, Brolin shared the image via his Instagram stories. So, going down here, we have this post here from Boss Logic. Like I say, for those of you who may not be familiar with him, I'm sure by now pretty much everyone watching this video knows who Boss Logic is. He puts out these fantastic pieces of like comic artwork and kind of fan artwork. Dealing with comic book, pop culture material. Look him up on social media, guys, and look into some of his other artworks because they're really, really great stuff. But anyway, this post here, so from Boss Logic, the rumor whispers going around is that Josh Brolin is still in talks for something big in the DCU. Josh and DC have the biggest opportunity to do the funniest thing. And then we have this great piece of artwork here. Let's just go over to the actual X post here so we can look at it full scale. And then we can see here, we've got a picture of Darkseid looking from above. He's got his arms crossed and he's kind of looking up towards the camera. But I mean, this piece of artwork just looks great. You can see Thanos on the floor here, actually. That's pretty cool. Is there another part to this image somewhere? I'm not sure that there is. But you can see Thanos. You can see the gauntlet on Thanos' hand down here at the bottom. And obviously we've got Darkseid standing over the top of him. But yeah, I mean, he looks beastie. He looks ripped. He looks crazy. And I mean, could you even imagine? I think it would be a genius piece of casting. When it comes to my opinion on this potential casting of Josh Brolin as Darkseid, I think it would be a great thing. Like I said, Josh Brolin, right? He's a fantastic actor. He's already got the experience with Thanos. His voice is just booming. But would they need to change the voice to make it sound different for Darkseid? Obviously, they would. Because otherwise, it would just sound like Thanos and it wouldn't sound right. So they would have to obviously augment the voice. I guess Darkseid's got more of a kind of a darker, booming voice as well. So it would sound a lot different. But I guess a lot of people, if they went into a movie with Josh Brolin playing Darkseid as the voice, I mean, they would augment his voice to a point where you probably wouldn't even recognize that it was Josh Brolin. So, I mean, there's that as well. But, again, fantastic actor, fantastic voice, got all the experience in the world from Thanos, and I think it would be a genius piece of casting, in my opinion. But I would love to know what you guys think about it. I know there would be some people saying, oh, they're just copying Marvel, you know, they don't do anything original anymore, using the same actors, and there's people that have all these arguments and disagreements. In my opinion, as long as you have a great actor with great experience, and you know, you have well-written dialogue, that's all I can ask for, really. And this guy checks all the boxes that you could ever expect for someone who wants to play Darkseid. But yeah, I mean, it's just a fan piece. It's just a piece of fan art at the moment. Like I say, it could hint towards something potentially coming in the future. It could hint to nothing at all. It could just be a harmless piece of fan art. We simply don't know. But obviously, as pop culture fans, we speculate and theorize on every little nugget of information. Whether there's something here or whether there isn't, we still go over it with a fine-tooth comb, because that's what we do, and that's the fun of the conversation of being a, you know, a comic book movie fan, just poring over every little detail about little things here. So, coming to us from DCU Hype as well, let's go over to this post quickly. So, DCU Hype, Josh Brolin has posted a Darkseid fan art by Boss Logic to his Instagram story. The post has the caption, Josh Brolin is still in talks for something big at the DCU. It seems that Josh Brolin has confirmed that he is in negotiations with DC. So, it does look like there is some sort of confirmation here that he is in talks with DC, which is really, really exciting. But ultimately, what character is he going to play? That's what's going to be interesting. I could imagine him as like an older, gritty sort of Green Arrow. I think that would be a great casting for him. But is he too old to play Green Arrow? Or could he play like an older version of Green Arrow? I think he would be pretty cool. That's the kind of casting that I would like to see him in. A gritty, older, kind of washed out version of a Green Arrow. And then potentially training a new Green Arrow or something like that. Yeah, I think he's got the look of a Green Arrow character. And that's kind of what I would go for. But yeah, keep going down here. So, Darkseid was originally envisioned as the big bad of the DCEU, and Zack Snyder planned to introduce the character in the Justice League sequel. This never came to pass, but we did catch a glimpse of the incredibly powerful new god in the director's cut of the first film. Yeah, I love what Zack Snyder did with Darkseid. I think it was pretty damn cool. The design was just like gritty and dark and kind of like everything else in the Snyderverse. But ultimately, I kind of liked what we saw of Darkseid. Obviously, I don't think the character was deep enough. We didn't see it as enough of him as we wanted to, but we were still missing extra parts of the Justice League. So, you know, it's hard to say whether the character would have been good because we're missing parts of the actual narrative because we didn't get the other Justice League movies. Though there were obviously some similarities between Darkseid and Thanos, the former was actually introduced first. They evolved into very different characters over the years. Whether James Gunn has any plans to debut the tyrannical ruler of Apocalypse in the DCU at some point remains to be seen. Absolutely! You're doing this fantastical DC universe, a reboot, and Darkseid is such a big, imposing villain that hovers over DC material, whether it's in comics, graphic novels, animated shows, movies, whatever. And, you know, you would have to have him appear or kind of allude to the guy at some point. He's such a fan favorite and a big bad of this universe. It's kind of like it would feel not missing, but like it would feel wanting by the fans. I think people would start wanting it after a while. Obviously, people are used to the whole Thanos storyline, and now people will be like, well, where's our Darkseid storyline? Kind of, you know, I think people would really, really want it at some point. Point remains to be seen, but if when it does happen, would it be far enough removed from Brolin's MCU tenure as the Mad Titan for fans to accept him in the role? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? If you're James Gunn or an executive at DC Studios and you're looking at this, you're thinking, yeah, this would be a fantastic piece of casting. But then on the flip side, would it bring a lot of controversy to DC and to the role of Darkseid at the same time? Because like I say, there's going to be those fans that kind of backlash and rally against it. Oh, DC are just stealing Marvel actors and, you know, they're not doing anything original. They're trying to copy Marvel. And would it bring all this kind of circus and controversy that DC don't want? Would that ultimately sway them away from using Josh Brolin as Darkseid? I hope that it doesn't. But, you know, looking at it from a business perspective, that ultimately could be the deciding factor or one of the deciding factors for not going with Josh Brolin as Darkseid. But we'll have to wait and find out. So, keeping that in mind, despite some fans jumping to conclusions, Brolin sharing this artwork doesn't confirm a thing. Yeah, like I already said, it could mean something, but ultimately, more than likely, it probably doesn't mean a thing. But it's still fun to speculate as a fan. even if he is in talks with another DCU role, it doesn't mean it will be Darkseid. So, what do you make of Josh Brolin playing both Thanos and Darkseid? Be sure to drop us a comment down below. Yeah, I mean, so that's kind of where we are. So, a piece of artwork by Boss Logic has been shared by Josh Brolin himself, depicting him as Darkseid. But, I mean, yeah. I mean, ultimately, you have to decide for yourselves, guys. Do you think this actually has any meaning behind it? Do you think it's just harmless fan art, like a lot of us like to do online? We like to create pictures, we like to create videos, all different kinds of things regarding our favorite characters and actors. So ultimately, it could just be a harmless piece of fan art here. But it's fun to think about what this could potentially mean for the DCU, and yeah, it's fun to speculate on this kind of stuff. So guys, I throw it off to you. What do you think? Do you think that this could potentially actually happen? Or do you think it's just harmless fan art and ultimately it's probably not going to go anywhere? But yeah, I would love to hear your feedback on this story, guys. So jump down in the comment section and let me know your thoughts, comments, and opinions. As always, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you hit that like and become a subscriber of the channel if you haven't already. It goes a long way to supporting the content and I really, really appreciate that. And as always, I will see you in the next video.